Streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, gas prices rose by 7 cents in the past 2 weeks. And Sunday marks 6 months since the start of the Israel-Hamas war. Large demonstrations taking place in the U.S. calling for increased action and to free all hostages. Plus, a Powerball ticket sold in Oregon has won nearly $1.33 billion, the fourth largest jackpot in the history of the game.
And we got lots of clouds and rain possible for your eclipse day today, but severe thunderstorms possibly coming our way tomorrow overnight. We'll take a look at that in the weather coming up.
Championship Sunday, was it undefeated South Carolina or Iowa? And Caitlin Clark all have that in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
And I'm Parker Cox.
And today it's the 8th day of April 2024. The time is now 6:30 on our Monday morning, and today it is Draw a Bird Day.
Draw a Bird Day, and Carolina and I actually already have our birds drawn.
Yes.
Ready? We're going to do it at the same time.
We'll do it at the same time. So I drew a bird, Parker drew a bird, Parker drew a flamingo.
I drew a flamingo.
And I drew like a pigeon. So don't forget to draw your bird today.
It's actually not too bad birds. You had a good one too.
Thank you, Parker.
She showed me hers earlier.
Well, how's it going to look out there in the skies today, Parker? Are we feeling hopeful that this cloud cover may give us a brief glimpse of the eclipse today?
I was going to say, you could say, are the birds going to be liking the weather today? Well, Carolina, no, I don't think the clouds are going to give way too much this afternoon, because we could also see some showers coming our way right around eclipse time. We'll take a look at that in just a few more moments, because right now, if you're tuning in with us this morning, you're looking live here in Eastern Victoria. Not too bad of a morning, actually quite warm and a little bit humid out there as well, with your temperature 72 and your dew point 2 degrees off of that temperature. Got a 93% humidity, so a little bit humid out there. I'm not thinking it's enough for a fog just yet because it's not 95 or higher, but it does say 5-mile visibility. So I'm not expecting any fog out there this morning, but if you do see any, please be careful out on the roads, of course. But all of us in the 70s this morning, along the coast, y'all are just about in the mid-70s because you're next to that warm water. But nice warm morning, and we've got lots of more warm weather still to come all week this week, but mostly cloudy skies and a rainy eclipse possibly coming our way this afternoon. We're going to take a look at that in just a second, because we got some severe thunderstorms possibly coming our way tomorrow overnight into Wednesday morning. We're going to take a look at that as well. But then, like I said, after all the crazy weather is all said and done, we got a nice warm breezy rest of our week heading our way. Now, as promised, here we go. You can see 9 a.m. this morning, and probably later this morning, it might be a couple showers starting to form out just southeast of us, because there's going to be a warm front that starts forming as those strong winds start getting stronger as that morning progresses. But as you can see here, by noontime and 1 p.m., plenty of showers probably in the area for this afternoon, with a warm day today and also plenty of clouds as well. But we'll take a look at all of that more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. New this morning, a major crackdown in a human smuggling organization reportedly operating between the Rio Grande Valley and Houston. Authorities say the arrest follows a large-scale investigation. The suspect originally got arrested in Houston after police picked him up on warrants out of Goliad. HPD then transported him to the Goliad County Jail, where he remains this morning. Mario Rocha Escamilla of Houston faces 2 counts of smuggling of persons under 18 years of age. He also faces 4 counts of smuggling of persons. The Goliad County Sheriff's Office says with the help of their Operation Lone Star Task Force partners, they will continue to identify and dismantle criminal organizations operating within the region. A vacant trailer caught fire over the weekend near Warren Avenue in Victoria. The fire department says the call came in around 10:30 Saturday night. Investigators have not determined a cause of the fire as of yet. They say they have no injuries to report this morning. Passengers on a Southwest Airlines flight out of Denver got quite a scare as an engine's cover came apart shortly after takeoff. The plane quickly returned, making an emergency landing. No one was hurt, and investigations are underway.
Passengers on the Southwest Airlines flight watched the terrifying moment play out from their windows.
Oh, they're both gone.
The engine cover of the Boeing 737-800 appeared to rip off during takeoff yesterday, then strike the wing flap.
The flight attendant walked back, looked out my window, and went, "Oh my God."
One passenger on the Houston-bound flight says she felt a jolt before looking out the window and alerting flight attendants.
There were a lot of people who were really quite nervous. Lots of, don't take off your seatbelts. Hopefully they're going to get us on the ground. They must be turning around.
The flight with 143 people on board returned to Denver to make an emergency landing. While the plane is made by Boeing, the engine is not. In a statement, Southwest Airlines calls it a mechanical issue, says our maintenance teams are reviewing the aircraft. The FAA has opened an investigation. It comes after another Southwest 737-800 experienced an engine issue last week. That plane was forced to abort takeoff in Lubbock, Texas, after the crew reported a possible engine fire. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
The FAA is also looking into 2 Southwest flights from March which returned to their departure airports after experiencing engine issues. The price at the pump is going up, has been rising in the past 2 weeks by 7 cents. The national average price for regular gas now sits at $3.67 per gallon. That's a penny more than what the price was 1 year ago. And a Lundberg survey says there's a good chance that pump prices will rise another dime or more very soon due to a price surge that has gone on for more than 3 months to the tune of just over 49 cents. With supply down and demand up, the prices for raw resources that refiners must pay aren't likely to drop and may well keep rising. Sunday marks 6 months since Hamas terrorists attacked Israel on October 7th. In Washington, D.C., hundreds gathered at the Lincoln Memorial demanding the release of hostages still held by Hamas. The march to free the hostages began at the Washington Monument and culminated with a rally, many participants waving flags and chanting, "Bring them home." The attack on October 7th set off a war whose ripples have impacted people around the world. 1,200 Israelis died that fateful day and more than 130 remain captive. A lucky player from Oregon has scooped up the $1.3 billion Powerball jackpot, ending the over 3-month streak without a winner. It comes after a delay in Saturday's highly anticipated drawing. The Multi-State Lottery Association says the delay was due to one lottery needing additional time to complete security procedures. The winning numbers were 22, 27, 44, 52, 69, and 9. The $1.33 billion jackpot ranks as the 4th largest Powerball in history, with the cash value of $621 million. The lucky ticket holder will have the choice between an annuitized prize of $1.326 billion or a lump sum payment of $621 million. Both options are before taxes. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:37 on our Monday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. Rwanda marks 30 years since the genocide against the Tutsis by Hutu extremists.
Today's the day. A total solar eclipse will make its way across the country and into the path of millions of Americans. I'm Christian Cordero with how people are preparing.
And also coming up after the break, we'll take a look at your school bus forecast, followed by your weather and health forecast, and later on Sunrise, to take another look at that cloud cover in the rain, and also the severe thunderstorms possibly coming our way today and tomorrow. Well, good morning, Crossroads. If you're all tuning in with us this morning, you're looking live at Cuero. Pretty cloudy out there yet again this morning, and actually all of us are seeing plenty of cloud cover out there this morning, but also a little bit warm and humid. Right now about 71 out there in Cuero, but with the dew point 1 degree off that temperature, you got a 96% humidity. So a little bit humid out there, and you might even see just a real thin layer of fog out there this morning. So please be careful if you do see any of that, maybe a little bit thicker fog, but I'm not expecting that. But if you're sending your kiddos out the door, it's going to be about 71, just like it is right now. Pretty cloudy and warm and humid. But as they're heading back home this afternoon, it's going to be nice and warm. Maybe bring them up, bring them that umbrella, because there might be a couple showers out there this afternoon, right between 1 to 3 p.m. today. But good news is the grass pollen is the only thing that's high today. Air quality is a little bit moderate because there's lots of still air, and also a little bit, actually not still air, going to be breezy with lots of that stuff coming out of the Gulf, because I think there's some fires out there in Mexico. But UV index is going to be low because it's going to be mostly cloudy today. And in fact, I'm predicting about 90% cloud cover today with a 50% chance for those showers right around eclipse time. But we got some severe weather possibly coming our way tomorrow. We're going to take a look at that in just a few more moments. And that's it for weather. Good look at sports with Zach Brown.
Championship Sunday, Iowa and Caitlin Clark taking on undefeated South Carolina. Now late in the second half, Iowa trailing by double digits. Caitlin Clark trying to dig deep and grow her legend. She makes it a single-digit ball game, but South Carolina would answer almost every time Iowa made a run. The big difference in this one, South Carolina had 37 bench points. Iowa had 0. Caitlin Clark had 30 points to go along with 8 boards. The Gamecocks, the 10th school to go undefeated in a year, 38-0 as they win 87-75. Caitlin Clark upset, but she did a lot for the sport. Out on the diamond, last time out, Renell Blanco threw a no-hitter, and yesterday he was on the mound against the Texas Rangers, and he only got 3 runs of support, and all 3 courtesy of this bomb that just did stay fair off the bat of Yordan Alvarez as Houston's offensive woes continue. Now, a bright spot has been the starting pitching, and Renell Blanco was magnificent again. He did not allow a hit until the 6th inning, so that's 14.2 innings of hitless ball to begin his season. Houston goes on to get the win. Final score in this one, 3-1 Astros, now 3-7 on the year. With your 25 Sports Now, I'm Zach Brown.
Thank you, Zach. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Today's the day a total solar eclipse will cross the country for the first time in 7 years. From here in Texas to Maine, hotels are booked, highways are crowded, and some places have even issued a state of emergency ahead of the big event.
This morning, millions of Americans are hoping for clear skies to experience their excitement in totality.
Came down here for the eclipse. We're keeping our fingers crossed for the weather.
I got the certified safety eyewear. I got UV filters for my camera.
The path of totality across the U.S. spans from southern Texas to northern Maine. Along the way, a boom for local businesses between rental cars.
We're fully booked right now. That's one thing. So even if they call us, we don't have.
And homes. According to Airbnb, 1 out of 4 guests with a reservation has booked a stay along the path of totality. Texas is among the most booked states. Indianapolis, the most booked city. The increase in travel means extra traffic on the roads and in the skies.
They even told us to maybe be prepared to sleep in our store if we needed to.
The FAA has issued a travel warning saying the eclipse combined with spring break could cause delays. But you don't need to be in a classroom for this science experiment.
We've been talking about coming here for this event since, 3 months before she was born?
One for the history books for those lucky enough to witness.
As they do have weather concerns, but really hopeful that we're going to have a very good experience.
It's going to be disappointing, definitely, if it's cloudy. Next time it's going to happen in, 20 years or something?
Yes, the next total solar eclipse for us in the U.S. will be in 2044, though only some of the upper Midwest will see it. Another one will happen the following year in 2045. That one will stretch from California to Florida. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We ask you, are you watching the eclipse today? Okay, 58% of you say yes, and 42% of you say no. We want to keep hearing from you. com.crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. The time is now 6:45 on our Monday morning. Still to come, police in Oregon responded to a report of shots fired near a restaurant Sunday evening. Okay, it's time. It's time to celebrate those birthdays. Happy birthday to Noah. Happy birthday, son. We love you.
Happy birthday, Noah. And let's wish a very happy birthday to actress Patricia Arquette. She's turning 56 today. Happy birthday, Patricia.
Happy birthday.
And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com. Click on More, and under Home, you'll see KVU to submit your birthday.
And the time is now 6:46 on our Monday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today, or maybe you did this weekend.
Yes, happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. The big question on everybody's mind, is it going to be cloudy, raining, mostly cloudy, partly cloudy for today's eclipse? Well, we're going to look at it now. You can see the clouds out there right now this morning. A little bit cloudy, but mostly cloudy out there, I might say, because there's a little bit of a cirrus deck and also a little bit of a stratus deck as well out there. But looking at your morning here, we're going to go into the later morning. You can see 9 a.m. might be a couple showers starting to develop just out there to our south-southeast, because we're going to have a warm front that starts developing as the southerly winds start to increase to 15 to 20 miles an hour in the south. But as you can see here, right around noontime, those showers are going to make its way into the Crossroads, right around here in Victoria, actually, as a matter of fact. But as we go into 1 p.m., because the eclipse is right around 1:35 here in Victoria, you can still see plenty of isolated showers and plenty of cloud cover over on top of us, even all the way up to San Antonio, where they're getting the actual total eclipse up there. They're going to see some cloudy skies and maybe even some rain. So here in the Crossroads, this is what I'm thinking what the clouds are going to look like for today. right around the eclipse time, you can see probably this is the best thing we're going to see. At least we hope we want to see this. This is what we want to see because you can see there's a couple breaks there in the clouds. But if we get any of these two, look at that. That does not look good for any type of eclipse viewing scenario for today. So not the greatest viewing weather for today, but there might be a couple breaks where we might get a little lucky. Some folks might get real lucky and see that eclipse fully, but I'm not expecting that to be the greatest viewing today. But as you can see why that is because there's an upper level low that's coming out of the southern Rockies. That's going to start moving east into the Texas area tomorrow morning. As you can see, start pushing east. But that's why all the cloud cover is starting to pick up right ahead of it because all the southerly winds are increasing. But that low, like I said, is going to start pushing east. And once it gets close here into Texas, we could see some strong, severe thunderstorms coming our way into the night of Tuesday night and overnight into Wednesday morning. As you saw right there, a couple strong thunderstorms right there. But as we zoom in here on the crossroads, you can see here right around 3 p.m. those clouds are going to start clearing. That's going to allow for the land to heat up and maybe a couple strong thunderstorms coming our way out of the west overnight Tuesday night. But we'll take a look at all that and more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Rwanda marks 30 years since the genocide against the Tutsis by Hutu extremists. The mass killings lasted over 100 days, spanning from April to July in 1994. The systematic campaign of mass murder sparked after the Hutu president's plane was shot down April 6, 1994. The genocide claimed the lives of an estimated 1 million people, left countless others maimed, and sparked a mass internal migration as hundreds of thousands fled for their lives. A UK man reached his goal of running the length of Africa on Sunday. Many supporters came out to support 27-year-old Russ Cook on the last leg of his run. He ran more than 16,000 kilometers across 16 countries in 352 days. During his journey, the endurance athlete from Worthing in southern England crossed jungle and desert, swerved conflict zones, and got delayed by theft, injury, and visa problems. Cook's known on social media by his nickname Hardest Geezer. He set off on April 22nd, 2023 from Cape Agulhas in South Africa, the continent's southernmost point. His run raised more than 690,000 pounds or $870,000 for two charities, Sandblast and the Running Charity. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. Work crews have begun removing containers from the cargo ship that hit the Key Bridge in Baltimore. The U.S. says it's ready to defend its assets if Iran attacks them. That's the latest message out of Washington since U.S. leaders announced such a strike might be in the works. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the U.S. is prepared to respond swiftly if needed. U.S. leaders predict a significant Iranian attack on American or Israeli assets in the Middle East as early as this week. The potential danger comes after an Israeli strike on an Iranian consulate in Syria last week. Now, the Israel Defense Forces say they're preparing to deal with Iran, quote, offensively and defensively. The Biden administration says if Iran attacks Israel directly, it almost guarantees a regional conflict. Israel says it's moving into an offensive phase along its border with Lebanon. It's been exchanging fire with Iran-backed Hezbollah forces that are in that country. Police in Oregon have responded to a report of shots fired near a restaurant Sunday evening. Authorities say the shots rang out around 6 p.m. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office reported on social media that it was an isolated incident and that there is no ongoing threat. Witnesses say they were sitting inside the restaurant when they heard several gunshots. Authorities have not said whether anyone was shot, but that they are investigating any possible victims. No details about a suspect or suspects reported. Work crews have begun removing containers from the cargo ship that hit the Key Bridge in Baltimore, causing it to collapse in the water. Unified Command, the organization coordinating the government agencies responding to the disaster, says removing the containers will allow crews to safely remove parts of the bridge that fell on the ship. The operation is expected to continue through the week. Maryland Governor Wes Moore says they have a goal to reopen the Port of Baltimore by the end of May. The Republican Party of Goliad plans to host a runoff forum for the GOP State Representative District 30 runoff between former Victoria Mayor Jeff Bachnight and former Jackson County Sheriff A.J. Louderback. That event will get underway tomorrow night at 6:30 at the Grace Temple Event Center. Victoria County Commissioners meet today at 10 a.m. at the Victoria County Courthouse. Here are some items from the agenda. They're going to hear a proclamation regarding the Victoria Bicentennial Celebration. They'll also hear an update regarding the Victoria Regional Airport. If you cannot attend the meeting in person, you can attend the meeting virtually via Zoom. The Nave Museum's annual fundraiser was this Saturday. A polo match, live music, tailgate tastings, and more. And it was all in support of the museum located in downtown Victoria. And now we go to Parker for a look at our eclipse forecast, where he has an article posted on crossroadstoday.com with all the details. But Parker, tell us right now, what is that window of time we can anticipate to maybe see an eclipse?
Yes, we could maybe see an eclipse, but it's going to be mostly cloudy today. I'm thinking about 90% cloud cover. But this morning it is quite warm and humid, and that humidity is exactly what's going to drive up the chance for some rain and the clouds this afternoon. Right now, all of us with the warm 70s this morning. But like I said, this afternoon, right around eclipse time, there could be a few showers out there, which is going to block our view. But coming our way tomorrow night, we have a chance for some severe weather in the overnight hours into Wednesday morning, which is why I have a possible alert day issued for tomorrow, because we could see some strong thunderstorms coming our way overnight tomorrow night.
Wow, Parker. Well, thank you for keeping us up to date. I know so many people are anticipating the eclipse today.
Absolutely.
And thank y'all for joining us. Have a wonderful start to your week. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join Karina, Dawn, and Mac today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Don't forget, draw your bird.